What's up, everybody? Core Conversations for Tuesday. It is a Freestyle Tuesday, and I was just talking with my guy Jason from Spread Love just before going on air and lost track of time. So that's why we're late today. 10:04, we're doing it. We got our dad goals as always. We have you, and thank you so much for joining us today. It's going to be a fun time. I like bouncing ideas off of you on these freestyle days. Orhan, how are you, my friend? So let's get this going. So Core Conversations podcast. So like, subscribe, and share. And it is Coach Joseph. Oops. Doing good. How's the travel going? Where are you right now in the world? Athletic Mike, what's going on? Hi, Tracy. Tracy, I'm sure you could appreciate this. I had a client bail on me this morning, so I got busy doing some other stuff. Did a workout, did some stuff, and lost track of time. Like straight up, just threw off my morning. It's all good stuff, but like you know when you're ready and you're hyped up for like back-to-backs all morning, and then that drops off. So it's been a chill morning. Living in Albania now, crazy. What's Albania like? What's Pilates like in Albania? Love to hear. We're gonna talk in a minute. I got some stuff I want to bounce off of you, but before I do that, let's send a few notes to some people. You announced the whole country what Pilates is? What, did you just get a megaphone? Like, how'd you do that? If you want to join me on screen, man, jump on. It's a chill day once again. And Tracy, what's going on? As always, good to see you. Very cool. That begs the question, Tracy, would you move somewhere and be the only Pilates person in a whole like massive area? Would you start from scratch with like no knowledge of what Pilates is? Or would you rather be like another spot, another option where everyone knows where Pilates is? Both are good in different ways. Both you're putting your signature on it. So I'm just curious, what would you prefer? Be an evangelist or be the best option in town? There's definitely advantages to both. Both of you guys want to join us? Orhan, Tracy, do you want to join me in the chat? They both can be difficult, right? They both can have their tough sledding for sure. I'm always intrigued when I've had people who are like from small town USA or small town Canada, small town Europe, and hear their story. And then I have someone from Australia who is like, you know, in a big city in a high-end area, and there's tons of Pilates options, and then they make it work. both stories captivate me. So, I'll bring Tracy on. Or if you want to join me first, just decline if it doesn't work. I declined. All right. Tracy, it's me and you.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going well. So yeah, Orhan couldn't join us, but so he's the lone Pilates student in Albania.
Wait, where was he? Do you know where he was before?
Orhan, where were you before? Like he was in he just is a globetrotter. Like legit, he's a globetrotter. He's been all over different places where he's like he go and teaches in Turkey before. I can't remember. Hey, Sunny.
Turkey is where that amazing Pilates apparatus company is, right? Is it Legacy?
Legacy. Yes.
So jealous.
And
Everybody.
Is Michael King there as well?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know, they have the most beautiful apparatus and great customer service. So I wish I was in Turkey to get it.
Right. One of my neighbors around here also is Legacy stuff, so burn that. So if you have the option of being like another Pilates studio in New York City with something special, or be the only Pilates studio in Wales, which one would you choose?
Like I'm kind of on the in between of that because I'm in Miami, and so in Miami it's like a Polestar headquarters, but
Yes.
that's like their international headquarters is here, but that's so different from what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And Fort Lauderdale, it's like the Romana headquarters.
Yes.
But that doesn't trickle down much into Miami. Like those are two separate places. So there's not people doing like what I'm doing here, and I like that.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
I kind of like it. On the other hand, it makes it hard because every time I talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh, what do you do?"
There
And
it is.
oh, hey.
Hello.
What's up?
Thank you. How about you?
Yeah. Good. Sorry, Chase. I didn't mean to jump in. Just interrupt your last thought there. So people don't know what you do then still, or?
Well, no. So every time I tell somebody, "Oh, I have a Pilates studio" or whatever, they automatically go to, "Oh yeah, I tried like Megaformers." They go because that's everywhere here, but there is like traditional Pilates here. So it's in a way it's educating people about that, and then so I kind of like that actually in a way, but in another hard because you're trying to explain to them like you're going to get something a little bit different if you come here than what you do.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So by contrast, or now you have like a whole country that doesn't have a Pilates studio on every corner.
Not at all, actually. We are the only ones. So we are just trying to extend the studios all around the country. But for now, like we are the only ones. So we are very glad that we just introduced Pilates to the whole country. And everybody knows me just because I just did everything for them. So it was so funny from the beginning. Like, what is Pilates? Well, it's just something like yoga. It's something like this, something like this. But you wouldn't just explain from the beginning like this.
Yes, the nuances.
A bit tricky. After 2 years, like everybody just connected more. But for the locals, they are not very aware of what Pilates is. But for expats, you know, in Albania, there are so many expats. They live here, so they just come here also like. We are really easily like I'm not an Albanian speaker, but for English, so we just run the studio very easily actually, just because of the expats and Albanian people. They speak very easily also English. So at the end, like I do speak only English in this studio.
Oh wow!
Wow, there you go. There's
so
your
happy
education for the morning, right?
So
that's crazy. It's good.
I was in France, like living in Paris. I couldn't just make it like as English speaker, but freely I'm here like a very, very like comfy to live and to work at the same time.
Nice. Wait, you were in Paris before?
Yes. Well, like maybe 4 months ago, I just moved from Paris to Tirana in Albania.
And was the studio already like set up there? How did that come about?
Actually, like a 2 years ago, I just was living here at the same time. We opened a boutique studio here from the beginning, and like in pandemic, of course, we were struggling, and I just said like, okay, maybe I can just go to like. I wouldn't stay here because I didn't want to from the beginning, and I went to Paris, and in pandemic it was really like a struggle just because of the so many restrictions in Paris and France. So
Yeah.
my colleagues, because I trained so many people here, also just prepared the studio, and after that, like it was like they extend the studio right now. Like we have a really big area here, and I came back here. It was already set up just because I did it before.
Yeah.
So the transition after Paris was very easy to me.
It's interesting, or as you're saying, how when you explain Pilates to people initially, you say it's like yoga, and there's spots
I'm
in
very
our
sorry
life where
to say that.
I know, right? That's almost like a swear word. People are like, oh, it's nothing like yoga. It has to be different.
Yeah,
But when you're
like
talking to people who
if
have like no baseline,
exactly
it has to be a connecting point, right?
at least it's just the movement pattern is just a little bit similar. I wouldn't say something like karate, right? So
True.
it's just I need to just connect with one discipline. So at the end, like what is the most similar one is to me yoga. But if you just go deep down into, not at all, but from the beginning, like how could you? Because most probably in Albania right now, people they only have the experience as gym, like a lifting weights.
Just
There's
lifting
nothing
weights.
else.
Yep.
So it was not really connected, just because when they see the reformers, they're really shocked from the beginning because they've been thinking only to do mat repertoire. But I say like,
Yes.
okay, we have the different machines, not like a yoga, because yoga most probably like with body weights. So for us, like of course, like a mat repertoire is similar, but kind of machines with the equipment is like a really beyond of something you can imagine as yoga. So after that, right now, like most probably people like see as something really different, but from the beginning it was the kind of, to me, for the like only choice or explanation easily to
It's a
say
good connecting point.
Pilates yoga.
I've done that before too. And also when people are first coming to the studio and they say like, what do I wear? I'll say, dress like you're going to a yoga class.
And
And then
look at us.
oh wow, look at that.
I know.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes, we create something really beautiful, and from seriously like after Paris, like a really big space.
Oh my God.
I think this
What?
experience exactly.
Beautiful.
That is
And
stunning.
we are creating like a really good brands here, like a core
Field
Pilates.
trip, Tracy.
Yeah, no, we need to go take can you have a little convention or something there? Pilates workshop.
Great.
Give us the good
I would glad, like seriously, like I'm really happy because we just started to this like
That's
not only
Albania.
Pilates, like a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good right now, like so many people they're asking like, would you just also sell the outfit for core clients? We say chorus.
Yeah.
So they're just really enthusiastic to connect such a community. We are trying to just create that community here, and we are really glad what we are doing, but step by step.
That's amazing. So we were talking about Turkey just a second ago, and when Michael King was on, he was saying that there's a lot of men that do Pilates in Turkey, a lot of amazing teachers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so are we at a point there, I mean, where you notice that guys are like, wow, this makes sense, I want to do this more, or is it just like anyone off the street sort of thing?
Like from the beginning, like I think in Turkey, like we are also really connected, but also from the beginning, those people like who just introduce and also involve, and they are really brilliant people. They just influence very like beautifully to people around whole country and Istanbul especially. And
Yes.
that's the reason right now, like Pilates is very, very popular, and kind of maybe the top one discipline everybody just mostly prefer to do. So that's the reason
That's crazy.
that's the reason like every building has one or two studios in Istanbul. So I was also influenced
Right,
by
Trace?
one of my clients. So
Yeah.
it's just like that. Like to me, like I was born in Istanbul and I just been trained there. And after that, why not to see more different perspective from what is it Pilates? So like after Paris experience, right now I'm in Albania. I would love to just travel more and to see like what Pilates is according to the country. But in Turkey, like we are very enthusiastic, like seriously, and we have really good instructors, and we say faculty also. Like my Pilates company or school is Basi Pilates, and right now I am in the process of being a faculty also. Like
There you
let's
go.
see, let's see.
That's pretty exciting. Challenge accepted too, right? Like, I mean, like for Tracy or I, like I'm in the GTA, I'm Mississauga area, and for where you're at, it's like, okay, so how do we get Pilates so much in like everyone's vocabulary to do that it is the preferred thing, like yoga right now in my area. People just take yoga classes on every corner. Why can't people be taking Pilates classes on every corner? Like, why isn't it like the main exercise modality for people, mindset wise, right? The thought.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, yoga is, I guess, more accessible also because there's like price points and equipment and, you know?
Yeah, but we have access, but
gotta,
the mat work is an accessible entry point, right? Like if you think of it from the perspective of a funnel, like I have community classes that people pay $13 to, and I have people who walk in the door and pay for a private, right? And those are certain, like you're able to accommodate every people group, right?
but also, so there's also like so many different kinds of Pilates. Like when you say Pilates, like it's such like the word doesn't really explain what you're doing when you do Pilates. So like, yeah, you can do that class, so something where like, oh, this is Pilates. Or you could be doing private on the equipment. They're like, oh, that's Pilates. Or you're doing like, you know, some exercise called scrambled egg mega reformer. And that's
piloxing and well, but
and so it's like, what is this?
Wouldn't a true yogi say the same thing? Like that hot yoga thing, that's not yoga, or that like
Right.
that vinyasa is not yoga, or that whatever, that's not yoga. This is like I'm sure yoga heads have the same arguments that we do.
Yeah, I don't know, but if you go to a yoga class, I mean, you're going to be doing poses in some form on a mat, whether you're hot or room temperature or whether you're holding it.
Right.
But in Pilates, like, I mean, it's so different. Like if you go to like a core, whatever that thing is called, core, I don't remember, but with that mega format class versus if you go to, you know, I don't know, like a Pilates for rehabilitation class.
Yeah, right.
I mean, those are two different.
It's vastly different.
You're on totally different machines.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't. I don't know how to use those, so it's like.
Yeah,
I think
true. Orhan, if you got to jump off, man, like I know you have a class coming up or something, right?
Oh no, we lost. I don't hear you.
Yes. Lots of volume. All right, if you gotta jump off, man, there you go. I forget it. So Roxy said yoga, please come. Well, I think that's it. So I mean, but you can not to play devil's advocate on it, but like on the Megaform or whatever class it is of Legree in this area, you could do 100 everywhere, right? So they could be, well, you're doing 100 there, like maybe.
Do they do is that part of it? I've never.
I don't know. But
I class. I forgot what it's called, but in Miami there's one and it starts with core something. And it's the same thing, the Megaforma thing. But the exercise, it was fun. And I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, but I had fun.
Right. Yeah.
Because
it's movement, right? It's fun.
But it was cardio on a spring-based apparatus, right? But that was where it ended. But I didn't do Pilates exercises on it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I'd still maybe go back because it was fun.
Right, exactly.
But I go there expecting to be doing, you know, I'm not going to be doing like short spine massage. I know that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what I think, that's where it's confusing, is because so here in Miami, people are like, yeah, I did blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and I don't want to be like, that's not Pilates and that whole thing. Like,
right.
How do you talk about that without being a dick or without being a
right.
You know?
Well, maybe it's just to like almost like when we were saying, like, it's like yoga, just accept it at a baseline and saying, okay, there's some polite, like my kettlebell guys, they're like, there's kettlebell exercises and then there's exercises with the kettlebell.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, like at some point, if someone walks into your studio and they're like, oh yeah, I've been doing Pilates for 15 years, and you find out that they've been doing Pilates at a community center and it's been all yoga exercise, you're like, okay, well, that's good. And let me show you some other Pilates stuff. Right. Like,
yeah, what we do is a little bit different. Like, come check it out. But I try not to put much into it, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. There's just, I mean, and they all have a place, and it's fine and whatever. But
sure.
It's still different.
Yeah. Changing gears a little bit, Claudia Coltrus is, I hope I said that wrong, right? Is in the chat, and I was on my other page just before this, and I just throwing down like a quick like mat 3-rep drill thing, and it's funny how I was just doing the exercises like classical like repertoire like one after the other, and I like the fact that it's like a language. And I'm here in Mississauga doing exercises, and I can say what's next. And Claudia, I don't even know where you are in the world, and you can be like seal, crab, rocking. I'm like, yes, go, right? So there's something to celebrate the language of Pilates at the same time that is universal when you come from that contrology classical piece. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but it was a fun moment to be able to celebrate where I could be like, okay, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. Portugal. My friend from Portugal was giving me the next exercise as I was doing the workout, and we've never talked before because there's a language. And I think that's the cool part of it.
Yeah, it's uniting everybody. I love that.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So yes, it is unique and it is different, and there is differences, and there's also similarities. So choose what you want to put as your point of emphasis, and don't be a snob or police about it. Just
Yeah.
I see rapport. That's pretty cool. So I was going to say something else. I have a quick question for you if you got a minute.
Me?
I did my workout this morning, and as I was doing it, I was thinking about the fact that when it comes to actually putting our exercises out there, like how self-conscious are you about like demonstrating exercises for fear of people saying your toe should be this way, or it should be like this, or I learned it like this, and this is wrong. Like the Pilates police coming after you, just even in kindness, saying like it should be like this, or this is the way it should be done, just putting your neck on the line for showing an exercise on your page.
So for me?
Yes.
Okay, so like yes and no. So because you're vulnerable if you're putting yourself out there, right? So that's a little bit of but then there's like power in embracing that vulnerability, which creates relatability, which creates community, which is going to create a positive, right?
Yes.
If you can get past that. But yes, 100%. Sometimes I do it. Like there was somebody who was doing an exercise the other day, and they had a video, and their hands were in a different from what you learn as like the traditional way. But I could see like that would be good for me to do that, right? As like a chest, a different way of thinking about it. And so I knew that it was going to be like, that's not the way you put your hand. But I liked putting it on there for that purpose, because it was like, oh, there's more than one way to do this. I think if it's a reason for it, or not even a reason, maybe the reason is you felt like it, and that's okay too.
Right. But
I like kind of like pushing those, I like pushing those buttons. Now, when it's me, then yes, I'm vulnerable, and it's like, kind of feel like you need to explain it along the way. Like, I'm doing this because.
For sure.
I started, like, that's one of the reasons I was doing memes that were like about talking about, like people giving,
unsolicited
corrections. And I would do that, and to make it like, okay, yeah, that's not right. And then when I would post somebody else's picture on Pilates and if somebody says something to them to correct them, immediately I comment, you're in the penalty box, and kind of
Yes.
like them a little bit, but like, oh, careful there, unsolicited correction, penalty box for you. And then they'll just delete it or something. But it's, you know, because they're not meaning to be like a jerk. Sometimes we can't help it. Sometimes they're just
Right. And I meant to qualify in that way too. Like sometimes it is like, hey, that looks great. Have you tried it like this? It's like, I still didn't invite you to ask me. Like, you know?
so it's like finding out somebody's weight goes up and down. Like, just don't.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, but at the same time that I say that and I talk a big game, now it's my turn, right? It's my turn.
Right.
My video on there, and then that's another thing. So, because everybody, so yeah, it's we just got to get over it. It's got to take the lead.
Well, yeah, this is the way that I get over it. Like every time I put something up there, I start with saying all comments are welcome, all opinions are welcome. Let me know. Like, I mean, so I'm opening it up, and it's funny how then when you do that, people don't comment because they don't want to get judged on their comment.
Yeah.
How, you know what I'm saying? Like if I say, well, your fingertips are supposed to be wrapped around the bar when you do that exercise, then someone might call you out on saying, well, why do your fingertips have to be wrapped around the bar?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
I know what's funny too is when we feel like we have to post it with like a caveat. Like, I know this, but you know, practice is better than perfection. Progress, like we don't, like that's another thing. Like, why do we have to do that every time? Like, why not just like, I don't know. Like,
it's true. I wonder why. I did it this morning with mine too. I said like you're imperfect practice. I wanted to qualify what I was doing. Like I'm not pretending to be the perfect person. And who is perfect, right? So, but like,
and
I still
not perfect because because they're no longer growing. They think that's top, and that's the best teachers are the ones who are students, in my opinion. And who are constantly looking for more and doing more and whatever.
Right.
But yeah, we all, I feel like I do it too, where I'm like, I know my arm is bent, oops, but anyway, you know?
Yes, right, yeah. That being said, when Claudia was like, she gave me like, I forgot that control balance was next, and I did it. I was like surprised that I actually got it right. Like, I was like, nailed it. That's what's up. And so, going more Joe's comment here, it would be nice if we could blur the lines between CNC, classical and contemporary, explain the difference, and let people choose without shame. Choose without shame. Yes, I think anything that gets people off the couch is ideally great. Yeah, I agree with that totally. There's when I was working with Tony Little and doing all our shopping channel stuff, I used to say like his population is 0 to movement. So, and what I mean by that is if he has some piece of equipment and then I'm demonstrating it, I'm like, this is awesome. If you are sitting on the couch 24 hours a day and this gets you off the couch 30 minutes a week, that's 0 to movement. That's perfect. So if I'm like some high level biomechanics coach and look at what he's doing and be like, well, he should be doing this and he should be doing that. It's like, no, that's not for you.
Yeah.
That's for this person over here. So let the people without shame choose where they're going to start the movement practice from, and then go from there.
I agree with you and 100%. And I like it all. Like I am dual certified. I do Polestar stuff that I learned through, which was like therapy based, whatever. I still do some of those exercises to get people, you know, ready.
Sure.
Some of the classical stuff. I'm a classical teacher in my heart because that's what worked for me and that's what I love and that's what changed my body and whatever. And so I see both and I love both and yay. You know,
right.
But one thing that I will say is when I went and did my classical training, I was kind of upset that what was introduced to me as Pilates wasn't. It was more pre-Pilates. And so then all of a sudden I'm doing this thing that's different. And I was kind of like, why?
Shortchanged.
Like shortchanged, and I kind of felt like bamboozled a little bit because I put all into doing the thing that felt good, but it didn't have the dramatic effect on me in my those quotes by Joseph Pilates, I would say them, but I didn't experience and live them until I started doing his system. right? And so
Yes.
spent all these years doing this other thing, which I still appreciate and love, and that was the best teacher training experience of my life. It was life changing, and it was an entry point to where I am now. So it was very important. I don't want to like whatever undermine it, but at the same time, I did feel bamboozled, and sometimes I feel like, you know, that's another thing is like be honest about it at least, because it's not. But it's something important, and it's something value.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
That's how I felt, because you spend thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours, and then you're like, wait a minute,
there's more that I should have learned back then. Yeah.
But anyway, that was my experience, and I know that's not a popular opinion, but it's just
yeah. I'm sure people felt that. Like, I mean, like mine was a little bit similar.
Direct all of your hate mail to
I know, to me, I'll absorb it. I'll own that for bringing this girl on with her hater perspective. No, because you know what's funny? Mine was like, because the one I did, when I did it, it was like I did the classical afterwards. It was interesting how, for me, it connected the dots. So I didn't feel like in mine I was shortchanged, but it actually filled in the gaps. It's like it colored in everything for me. Oh, that's why we did it like that. Oh, that's why that was. Oh, that makes sense over there. Like, you know what I mean? So
I'm a better classical teacher because of my contemporary training. Full stop.
Full stop.
Yeah, like I 100%
concur.
Way more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. Let me just read a couple of these comments here. So Claudia said, "That's it. You nailed it. Practice what you teach." And Goring Mojo. So also, I love the classical better, and that's what inspired Goring Mojo. And then We Are Pilates House said, we just had a newer instructor express frustration over her program, saying that it felt like she was learning how to pass her exam and not how to actually teach. Ouch.
Wait, well, I'm not gonna ask with what, because
that'll start. Yeah, message her after. But that's awesome.
For some reason I can't read the comments. My phone is being funny, but I'm glad you're reading them, because that's interesting. Yeah. I've had because I've had those kind of same experiences too. Okay, so my contemporary training taught me how, you know how classical always says, teach to the body in front of you, teach to the body in front of you. Like, they love saying that. Yeah. Contemporary actually teaches you to do that.
Well, it's funny. I was going to say contemporary is the one I heard saying teach to the body in front of you, and they would hate on classical for saying this is the order, this is the order, this is the order. It was almost the reverse. That was the way I was taught, and that was my mindset.
So my contemporary taught me to take each person and then create a program around that person.
Right. And
they were always different. And then, but they never used that phrase. I learned that phrase through, I thought that came, I learned that phrase through classical, but I didn't actually learn how to do it. I learned to do it in contemporary.
Yes.
But I practice it in now the classical. So
yes. Yep.
There's whatever.
We're here now. And the other thing too that you said earlier when we're talking about this mega reform and stuff like that, you said I had fun. Like, I liked it. It's just movement, right? And just, you're strong, you can do it. So if your body can do it, right?
Yeah. I like to soccer ball. I like to do yoga as much as yoga. I love yoga. If I go to yoga like one day in a row, I'm going to go the rest of the week every day.
Yeah.
Get addicted to it. But
yeah, that was the method is perfect. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay.
How's your car? Before you go, let's talk cars for a minute.
So it's so cool. I haven't had a new car in years. I haven't had a car, and so now we have the studio. We had to get a car, and
that matched the studio.
You might be proud of this. Before this, I was driving around a Dodge. It's either a Challenger or a Charger. The one with 2 doors?
Yeah, the Challenger.
Okay, I was driving a Dodge Challenger for like a couple months. Vroom! Traded it in and got a Subaru Outback, which is super cool. We named her Cookie. She's blue, Cookie. And yeah, no, it's great. I love it. I'll send
Cool.
you. Very cool.
Yes.
Very sporty.
Congratulations.
Camping or something. I don't know.
Right. Love it. We're talking cars. We're talking Pilates. That's pretty much my life. It's all good.
Here, I don't want to take all your time here.
It's okay. I got like 20 minutes left. It's all good.
Yeah.
I actually just had some quotes to throw around and stuff, so it was fun. I think we pretty much touched on them. And you can jump off or you can just stay on. I'll give you the next quote.
All right, let's hear it.
Exercise or movement is a celebration of what your body can do, not a punishment for something you ate.
Yeah, I would like to feel that way. That's another one of those things like, oh, I'm not insecure about posting. Like, like I'll eat something and be like, I need to work this off. But I know that, okay, Tracy, that's bad. Get that out of your head. Yes, I agree. The more that it's like pretend to be it until you actually become it kind of a thing.
Take it till you make it.
You make it. That's what I'm working on. But it's true. I do. Like I was thinking about that this morning. I did a class with Blossom on Friday, and it was like all about like I was like lengthening and twisting, and I was in my car and I was just in traffic, and I was like, oh, I just want to like do some of the stuff from that class again, not because like work off the coast or whatever, but because I wanted to have that feeling of like that lift of my side. Yeah. So
right. That's it. Like I want my clients to bottle that feeling of like, I did this and I felt awesome. I feel slightly off again. Oh yeah, let's see if we can make that feeling come back.
Yeah.
As opposed to I had a weekend of hard partying, so I need to just do the Stairmaster for an hour before I show up.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Although after like a particularly like rough weekend or a lot going on or whatever, like I do feel that need to do it, but not necessarily just to like work it off, but more to like work it out. Like like I heard somebody say like compare Pilates, and you know how you feel so good after, like you just feel good. Like even if you're hungry, you go in hungover, afterwards you feel better. It's because it works the sludge out of your system. Like it just gets flowing, it gets the joints moving, it just works the sludge out, and it's an actual that feeling, I guess, is what we should.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember that scene in like Finding Nemo with the shark? And then there's like that little whiff of blood in the water, and then he just goes tizzing, like he's just like, and he just loses it.
I don't remember.
It's like anyone who has like kids or is a Finding Nemo fan is like original. Anyway, so I feel like that sometimes if I haven't worked out for a few days, I've done like some Pilates stuff in here, just a few movement stuff. If I go on the floor and have a client and I have to demonstrate an exercise, as soon as I put the weight down, I'm like, I need more of this. I need to get into it. As soon as this guy's gone, I'm gonna do a workout. I like it just like something starts to go because like your body remembers that feeling and you want to chase after that sensation, and you just know that you can do it. So there's that celebration of what your body can do, which leads the movement practice as opposed to a guilt-ridden initiative for the movement practice.
Do you secretly get excited when you get to demonstrate?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Let me just demonstrate 7 more of these.
Move over.
Right. Totally.
And then I'm like, got that. Let me try that one more time.
Yeah, totally. I honestly, I have done this. I don't know if someone's done this. Like you demonstrate a unilateral exercise, you're like, wait, let me do the other side before I
or if you're trying to teach them something new and you're cold and you're like, God, now I've got to do like, some crazy like tendon stretch or something. And you're like, oh God, please don't let me mess this up.
Right. Totally. Just take the extra breath before you try and demonstrate this super hard exercise cold. Just like, it's going to look something like this and go.
I have one client who is very visual. Like that's how she learns. Like I can sit there and I can say straighten and bend and she will not, it doesn't compute. I have to show, but it's a virtual client. So like half the time I'm like not in a place where, I want to be demonstrating, but I know now with her, I got to together and get my pants on.
Oh, this virtual life.
I know, but it's like, everybody learns different. So I don't know. That's another thing I remember. Like people were saying, never demonstrate. Like some people like believe you should never demonstrate. I'm like, subscribe to that.
Well, I don't know. Like for me, that's challenge accepted. Like there was times in a class where I'm like, I am going to stand on this tile and see if I can get the whole class through the whole class without demonstrating something.
Yeah.
Just like for my own, like,
Fun.
yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah.
can I command this class from right here?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And
then I have to demonstrate it. And I'm like, fail. Okay, this is what it's supposed to look like, like. But it's worth a try.
Yeah, and everybody learns different, so it kind of depends on classes versus privates or.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That is it. That was legit, actually. That sounded like pretty authentic.
Yeah.
that's a Florida Jamaican accent. I like that. Yeah. Oh, and the last one before you go is like what I put on the thing. The title is, I'm not here to impress you. Someone said this quote and I liked it. It said, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to impress upon you.
Okay, I like that. I'll marinate on that a little.
Yeah. Anyone in the chat want to just like jump on that? I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to impress upon you.
That feels like a lot of pressure to impress upon you. I guess impress you's more.
Yes.
I'm not big on pressure. Anything I'm pressured, I
just like slide it off and it's pressure. Just don't need it.
No, but I like that.
Yeah.
Impress upon you.
That movement is important, or that it's good to breathe, or like gratitude is important, like whatever. Just impress upon it the thought, the emotion, the idea, whatever it is. Just like throw it out there so you could think about it. So don't look at my post like I'm trying to impress you with my post. I actually want you to think about what the message is.
Yeah. Okay. Thinking about it as opposed to exercise is helpful for me.
Yes. Or guilt. You should be doing this. It's not to, make you feel like you should be doing this because I did it, just to be like, okay, well, what is that message and what does that mean for me? If you can leave it at that, I think we're winning. So
yeah. Very good.
Yeah. There you go.
What else do you have coming up this week?
I have the Pilates Lab tomorrow, so Misty's on.
Okay, cool.
With me as a co-host, and then we have Beth from the Pilates Lab Buffalo on as our guests, and I think Misty is going to be doing like a live conference or speaking thing there, like in July, sort of thing. So we'll just talk about some of the stuff they're doing. They've done some really cool initiatives. Chantel Douglas works out of there as well. So we're gonna be talking with her and just talk about some of the initiatives. I think Chantel might pop into the chat as well, or like on the live, and just share what she's doing. They did some stuff like a few years back ago. Bye, Sunny. She just said ciao. Yeah, so they did some initiatives like highlighting some like Black Pilates instructors, some not contemporary, like people who are alive now Pilates instructors, and just like talking about them and stuff like that, and for some of the areas that they do. So it's just interesting, like the representation, the intentionality of sharing representation in the industry and stuff like that. So they're doing some good things, and just
cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we did this morning. Like we had Albania in the room. Like, I mean, that's crazy, right? Like, and just like now that Pilates is growing there, and that there's one studio in that city, and like now, like, so that sort of thing. Just bring awareness to the different nuances, that it's not just a U.S. centric Pilates world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
cool.
Anyway, so that's cool. So that's what's up tomorrow. Before you go, what's going on with you? Like, what kind of workshops, anything going on, learning?
No, I'm like kind of at a standstill. Like I'm having so many issues with my studio right now because I did the same thing as last time, the city of Miami, and like dealing. So I've got to like get somebody, whatever. I don't want to think about it, but I have to get like plans and I don't know.
Variances, yeah.
And get for like whatever. So I'm just out in here,
Yeah.
And, I still have, my regular private clients, but I'm not taking on any new clients. I'm doing a lot of online stuff. I am getting ready to launch a really cool shirt.
Oh yeah?
It's I'll have to send it to you. It's awesome. So it looks like the Juicy Fruit logo.
Okay.
Juicy joints.
Nice.
And then it has movement instead of Wrigley's. And
Okay.
at the bottom, it says motion is lotion.
There you go.
It's so cool.
Guys, do you see how Tracy just lights up when she talks about all of her flatte ideas? Like, just your whole demeanor just changes. You just light up.
And then the other thing I have going on is I'm doing it's spring cleaning, and
Okay.
I'm going to talk with Pilates Pro Maintenance about all
Nice.
of the little, the things that we hear along the way that you should do this, you shouldn't do that, you should use magic eraser, you shouldn't use magic eraser, essential oil is good, essential oil is bad. Like we're going to get like debunk some myths and like talk about tips and tricks and best practices for cleaning and upkeep of Pilates apparatuses. So I've been taking questions from everybody for the last like week, and I'm compiling the questions now. We're gonna do that. It's gonna be a video interview, and we're gonna show some samples of how to clean stuff, and then I'll be posting that. So if anybody has any questions that they want to ask, and the more often the questions are answered, those are the ones we're gonna get to. They can find my link in bio where to submit the questions. Today's like the last day to do that. And then
on the Plate site?
Yeah, or just if they just go, they can go to either Pilates.com or they can go to @Pilates. Instagram, the link in bio will take you there also, and you'll just look for spring cleaning. And there's a link that says submit questions, like a button that says submit questions. And then we'll be sending that video out. I'll probably have them on maybe an Instagram too. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm up to right now.
That's so exciting.
Glad we talked about that because I got to get moving on that right now.
Just called you to accountability because you haven't started it. Yeah. It's true Tracy form. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. You totally just burned 50 minutes of an hour for me. I appreciate it. So it's great.
All right. That's fun. I'm always happy to come on and chat.
Yeah. And awesome. Thank you to Orhan too, who had to run off. Check the replay and just listen to what's happening in Albania. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And that is about it.
All right, everybody. Have a super fabulous Tuesday.
Yes, thank you. All right, sign off. Thanks, Tracy.
Great. Bye.
Okay, later. Bye, everybody.